Hello and welcome back to Battle Basics. If you've been with us for the previous episodes, you should be pretty up to speed on the majority of the game's basic knowledge and have a rough idea on how to play alongside other users. But this is where things are going to get a little more interesting. Teamwork with not only another player that you're fleeted up with, but the entirety of your team is crucial to taking down coordinated enemy players in a tough match. And this episode is going to teach you ways of doing this more effectively. As coordinating with your team is such an important part of Battle Bay, the game includes on-screen commands that your team will see on their screens once you've pressed them. These can be found in the lower right-hand corner of your screen, and once you press this icon, a menu will open with various symbols, all representing a different command. From left to right, these are capture, help, together, and attack, as well as yes and negative. Tapping an icon will cause the corresponding command to appear on the left-hand side of the screen to your entire team, including yourself, whereas holding the icon will let you be a bit more specific in what you're asking your teammates to do. Holding down capture lets you instruct a certain teammate to capture, or tell your team that you yourself are attempting to capture. Capture also changes to stop capture if the enemy is currently capturing the point. Holding down help will let you ask your team to help out a specific ally. Holding down together enables you to request follow me or to follow a certain teammate. And holding down attack lets you call down to attack a specific enemy. A lot of these commands work as you would expect them to, but being able to get down to specifics can be the difference between winning and losing, depending on how your team responds to your calls. Performing the same command a couple of times in quick succession can emphasize its urgency, such as calling to help the team's fixer or to attack an enemy that's getting out of control or needs finishing off who is on low health. But commands can quickly overlap if too much is called in one go, so make sure not to go too crazy, as quick, concise calls are much easier to understand and follow, as opposed to a messy, constantly moving series of instructions. That being said, remember you are not the only one on the team who has access to this call system. So even though you might want to take charge and help your team yourself, make sure to listen to other players who are also making calls based on what they can see. Back on the subject of teamwork and gameplay, however, everything in the previous episode still applies here. Although once you get comfortable with the basic level, you can start to really think about what you and your fleeted up buddy can achieve. What weapons do you have? What ranges do you cover between you? Do you share a weakness to a certain weapon type? Which two ships do you bring together? Ideally, you should be wanting to take advantage of being fleeted up whenever possible, even down to things like coordinating when to fire your weapons to hit at the same time or to harass a particular enemy as often as you can. A sneaky strategy you can use involves you or your fleeted up partner starting to capture the point. This will force the enemy to respond and potentially move themselves out of position, where the other member of your fleet can catch them out in the open as they come out to stop the capture. Although you can only control your own ship, you can still attempt to help your team out with the commands. You may not be able to control whether or not they listen to you, but it's definitely a skill worth knowing, especially as you climb up through the ranks and begin to get matched with players who will pay more attention. That's all for now. Join us again on the next episode of Battle Basics.